They've bought into all the crap they were getting from have been fed by the experts over the last years, over the last few decades. And on one side they send young people over there to Afghanistan to fight a war, when they got the war to fight right here in this country and right in this province. Look at this. See here? There was no bed straw here last year. Okay. And see here? Bed straw and goat's beard wasn't there last year. See here? All new contamination, and nobody can tell me that birds landed on there and pooped the wheat seeds on there. Ken?
Yeah.
See that field in back there?
Yes.
Last year I didn't see any of that wheat there. This year the whole field is choked right out. Okay. About 10-15 years earlier they'd been messing around with it and it started coming good again. And now within 1 year it's completely ruined. That field in the back side, they've been messing around for years. But what I noticed when, for example, the yellow rattle showed up, started up in the further corner, right-hand corner of that field, came across here, came down the middle of the field through the driveway, went through the hollow, and then went along the backside of my pasture, and between me and the parsnips, that swath, it hit the road. Okay. I could follow up from 1 year to the next. That was about a 10-12 foot wide strip of yellow rattle showing up in this kind of a fashion. And then the next few years they branched out, they went in strips either side of that original path, right, and kept spreading those weeds. See that apple tree?
Yeah.
See the leaves? Strong sterilizing chemicals, chlorosis, and excessive amount of nitrogen. So sterilizing chemicals are on the nitrogen base, nitrogen and some form of ozone base, and it has the soil has become very corrosive. Once the concentration is brought down, then the leaves will turn real dark green. That one, that chokecherry roots deeper. Some of those chokecherries, they root deeper. They'll be past the damaged layer. Okay. So the nitrogen there is down to acceptable level, what they can tolerate. But other species that are not as, don't show as much of a tolerance, either through their shallow root system, it becomes, it is in harmful concentrations. And especially when you look at the grasses, who have a shallow root system, most of the grasses, and you see they're bleached out. See here, bleached out, partly burned off. And in order to match the conditions that has been created, sow this poverty weed. You get it?
I think so.
We had in back there some of the Manitoba maple, the top branches. Okay. They showed the same chlorosis as that apple tree, you know. See, that maple tree is down in the bottom of the ditch, yeah, you know, down into the original soil, and it's wetter, yeah, so it's more diluted.
Okay.
So it, you see the so the level of whatever this chemical compound is on the part of its basis is on a nitrogen base. It's down to a more acceptable level. So the tree makes use of the nitrogen. I haven't. Years ago, I used to mow the ditches, you know, yeah, but Government talks to me about unsightly premises. How about those unsightly premises? And I figure the sooner I can get those trees to go, and the same way as you see here the grass dying off, that's the way they kept burning off the trees always, year after year. I've replanted them now 3 times. And always stretches, they keep burning them off. Okay. You see the grass underneath, the way it's burnt, looks burnt, you know. And when you look along those trees here, they were planted, I planted them in 1998. First summer, the newly planted trees did exceptionally well. Most of them they had about 8, 10 inches new, 12 inches new growth. Okay. September, somebody went along and burnt in a band about this wide, burnt the trees off. And the tallest trees that are standing there now were the ones that I replanted in early October, when within 2-3 weeks the trees had died right off, you know. And they caught a gap in between, you know. But in the meantime, every year since 1998, I have been replanting, always those burnt off gaps. And you see, this shows practically the history of whatever those hateful people were doing. You know, I wanted to create a hedge there along the road, so to protect my cattle that were behind. Right. Because what they were doing, the same stuff, the damage they did do on the roadside there. I noticed always by the beginning of the spring, bleached out, purple spots and everything, and then basically this soil is so contaminated and beams over there to the other side of the ditch, you know. But this is what they were doing over the last years. When I had the cattle grazing right here next to the ditch, they were beaming it at them and basically gassing the animals. And I've lost a lot of animals because of that. That's the reason why I wanted to establish basically a tree hedge along there to protect the animals. See, Ken. See the tips on those trees? Yeah. Is that bad soil? And then you see always those gaps. Right. They had been burned off, but I documented it. Okay. And the Department of Natural Resources, they said, and Environment, oh, it's road salt. I said, most of the trees I planted there, I got them right out of the ditch, you know. And that's where the most healthy trees were grown at the time. Okay. And where do you get more road salt than right along the bank of the ditch? As I say, CSDS, Common Sense Deficiency Syndrome. We got a bunch of idiots that are running the show. And then too many of them, they are yellow-bellied. Once I show them and explain it all to them, then they're too damn coward to do anything about it. And Wally Stiles, about your whistleblower legislation. You should have blown the whistle already from the first time you got elected, and I brought this to your attention. You're a bunch of bullshitters from one end to the other. Premier Sean Graham, rural New Brunswick, will surely remember you and your cohorts. Take that to heart. You have known a lot about those things now since the year 2001, when you were agriculture critic and the leader of the opposition. I have the document to prove it. The next representatives the people sent as premiers to New Brunswick, they might have to send a box of pablums and pampers with them. See here, yellow rattle? Yep. And then in order to make it look good, this type of clover, basically they replace always more productive species, clover species, with a less productive one. The most productive one is a red clover, you know. Okay. Then comes the Alsike, and then they step down to shepherd's clover, and then they step down to this little tiny little yellow clover. Oh, it looks good for tourists. Yeah. If they still come to New Brunswick, you know, when they, and for people when they drive by on the road, it looks nice and green, you know. But you don't get any more production. It's not worthwhile anymore to work in that soil, you know, and not even to mow it, you know. And this is basically the whole underlying issue to bankrupt us. See, come on, drive your car off the road and. See, every year I keep mowing the pasture, okay. So prevents the thistles from growing. Yep. But they got this ground here so messed up with those sterilizing chemicals. You look at the sod, you know, you see all the bare spots. Mm-hmm. It's good heavy soil, plenty of nutrients in, but the soil is so sterilized. The life is being sterilized right out of it, you know. So you get thistles growing, yeah. Because they layer. And about the presence of the sterilizing chemicals in the soil. See? Chlorosis of the thistle plant. And the Department of Agriculture, they can't make a simple test on that in the Department of the Environment. See here?
What's causing that?
Chlorosis.
Corrosives, okay.
High concentration of sterilizing chemicals in the soil.
Okay.
And this is what I said. This it's a compound. It's out of a combination of nitrogen and ozone, oxygen. Okay. But I need the definite chemical testing, where the Department of Agriculture, the Department of the Environment has been dragging their ass since 1981. See there? See the white top thistles? Yeah. This is the best part of the, here next to the book. This is the best part of the. And you see, look, Ken. See, this is not the fresh green. You see, this is a kind of a bluish green here. Okay. I took photos this, by the beginning of the spring, where they, with those directional energy beams, always purple patches, and right around everything was bleached out. And see here, Ken? Come here.
I got you up close.
No, close up this one here.
I am. Real close.
You see the purple?
Okay.
The purple leaf?
Yep.
And see here, there's no growth here. Ken, there's no growth here.
Can you hold 1 second?
Lots of clover there.
Yeah.
Means the pH is okay off this ground, you know.
Okay.
But the plants don't thrive anymore. See here, that's the total height of a red clover. Those chemicals, they just ruin the soil and cut the growth down to maybe a quarter or a fifth. You know, it looks green. That's about all there is here. And then the condition that has been created that sterilizes the soil. Soil sterilizes, then it compacts. And when it compacts, what do you get? One plant that indicates compaction of the soil, and basically a dead soil, it's here plantain. but not even plantain will go here anymore.
Okay.
And this is a soil that got plenty of lime, that has plenty of organic matter, plenty of manure on. And as you see, where you see a manure pile, you see much better growth. See here? See? Nothing. Because the bacteria are there